So, yeah.
Hold on.
That's the one.
Let's see right there. Let's do it again.
It's not working. So that was night one for the sportsman. The racetrack on night one, again, Chris Nofziger. I don't know if there's anybody in the area better than what he does. I mean, arguably in the 11 Western states, he has become a master at creating a racetrack for these guys to 3 and 4 wide. And I'll tell you, during the weekend at Clare Cup, we actually saw, and it was quick, but we saw a 5 wide move that was scary. Scary because you don't know what's going to happen.
5 wide at Willamette Speedway?
5 wide.
Into turn 1?
No, out of turn 2.
Oh, down the backstretch.
Yeah.
Oh,
Things get a
man.
little scary and stuff like that happens. But, Chris has just been an awesome track master.
To run 5 wide, I remember when it was crazy when Bill and Claire Arnold still owned it, and it was crazy enough to run 3 wide.
3 wide on that little
That
narrow
was
track.
tight.
Yeah.
And to run, I mean, watch these guys run 3 wide and stuff now, I was like, yeah, it's cake.
Plenty of room.
To run 5 wide?
Things get real tight real
Wow.
quick, and how'd you like to be the guy in the middle of that deal?
Nope. What's middle?
Right.
Top, bottom? I mean,
Yeah.
what's middle?
Absolutely. Super Sports, night number 1, qualifying, fast qualifier, and this was cool to see. This is a guy that's been on the verge of picking up a win. He has been very fast and getting better, and I'm not kidding you when I say this. He's been getting every single week. He's been getting better. Brian Winkler, the number 88 from Newburgh, fast qualifier, 6-0.
See, and that's cool to see some of the Newburgh guys come up, and some of the Southern guys come up for that.
Well, he's there. He's a super sport guy. He puts the boards on. He's committed, and he's doing very, very well. We had 17 super sports. 17 super sports on night 1. Very, very competitive field.
I want to kind of break in real quick. I got a text message here with massive thumbs up. I mean, they're just coming in talking about best show ever and best show yet.
I love it.
High five! We got something.
We told
working.
you it's going to get better, and it's going to. Now, moving into
Sorry, I just had to.
No, I love it. I love it. It just shows progress. Super Sports, night number 1, Trophy Dash.
All right.
Brian Thompson, Crocker's Cars, number 44T. He got the win.
That is our sponsor for our phone line. You guys want to call
Crocker's
in?
Cars calling line.
991-2838.
Now, this car has been phenomenal. When it's good, it is absolutely on rails, and he can do whatever he wants to do with it. We'll talk more about that here in a little bit, but he did pick up the dash win. Brian Winkler was second fast, Jeff Rash third, and Clyde Roots, 2 Hackney cars, finished in third and fourth in the dash. Heat race, and we had some heat races for the Super Sports. It was some good racing. Chris Mott out of Salem in the number 16 picked up a heat race win, and all
Good
over
for him, man.
Yeah, that was a good run for Chris, and that's another car that I think those Super Sport cars are really going to have to start watching because he was fast. He was up front. He led part of the feature for a while. The car is getting really, really good, and Chris is really coming on strong on the dry slick. Sean Cronk was second, and that's another guy that these Super Sport cars really need to start watching.
Yeah, Kronk is somebody to watch out every week, especially when he comes out.
He's got a good crew behind him, and he's got some good some good minds behind him on that Raider chassis number 29. But he was second in the dash, and we'll talk a little more about him later. Heat race number 2, Dan Dybel in the 74. The not home market Predham Co-op Ford powered Swartz. He got the win, and who was right behind him? Who was right behind him? Mr. Thompson and another Swartz. I mean, listen to this. Swartz cars, first, second, and third in heat race number 2. Dybel in a Swartz, Thompson in a Swartz, and B.J. Donofrio driving the 40. They used to be the 47.
I haven't heard of Donofrio in a while, man.
This is Jim's kid, B.J.
No kidding.
Bought the car from the 47 of Leo Hillier.
Really?
Beautiful looking race car. It's got the.
That's right. He did. Yeah. He came out one time. Out one time when I went down there. That's right. And we were like, hey, this kid's never been in a full blown chassis car before, and we're like,
and did pretty well.
What was he gonna do? And yeah, he actually did pretty good. Yeah. We had some thoughts. But yeah, he actually came through the field. There were some things he had if I remember right, he had a huge push starting out the night.
That car was tighter than a vice grip,
right? But I mean, they went back and they dialed the car in. He didn't wreck it. He was fast and everything else. He kept his nose clean. That is the first time I did see his son driving that car.
He did well. He's getting better and better. Now, as we go into the Super Sport feature, I'm looking at that field of cars, going, man. It's one of those deals where that class is so tight and so competitive. There's so many good cars, and the quality of the drivers. I mean, anybody can win that feature. It's kind of like old school Willamette, going back into the late 80s and 90s.
Sir.
You got 16 cars in the feature, and you don't know who's going to pull it off.
Right.
This is kind of how the Super Sport class is right now, and it was cool because Dan Dybel got his first win in the 74. I mean, it was an awesome deal, and he earned it. Okay, he earned it. Now there was some carnage towards the middle part of that race, and we'll talk about it.
We're talking about first night or second night?
Night number 1. And Brian Thompson, man, I feel for the guy because here's a guy that was so fast.
Right.
I mean, just so fast, and he's truly, I think, probably has one of the 2 or 3 cars that you can bank on finishing. If
being
it's
up
not,
there in the top 3.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. And what happened to him was something that you just don't see happen on a dirt track. It's more of a cup situation on a big, high-speed, 210-mile-an-hour. And I'm not kidding you. It just
nose-to-tail drafting?
No. Down the backstretch into turn 3, the right rear tire explodes. Okay, what? And when I say explodes, I mean it tore pretty much the entire right rear corner of the body off the door panel.
Did he hit something?
No, he just blew the tire up, and it was it was just one of those deals where if it wasn't for bad luck, he wouldn't have had any that night. But now, check this out. Blows the tire up, boom, body parts are flying. I mean, the part of the deck's missing, rear spoiler's missing, whole right rear quarter panel. I mean, this car... I'm telling you, I don't know. I can't say I've ever seen it happen at Willamette or on a dirt track anywhere. You just don't see it.
Maybe on a sprint car.
Something, but not on super sports on these slick tires. So he pulls the car off the track, gets to the hot area, the hot pit area, and I'm listening to the two-way radio communication system.
Right.
And I'm listening close because I want to know. I thought he got into the wall. I didn't see it actually happen. But I thought he got into the wall, and I'm thinking, okay, man, that car's going to be tore up. Pulls off, and I hear him. Okay, the 44T's in the hot pit. They're going to change the right rear tire, and it looks like he's going to roll back on the track.
What?
Listen,
cars
yeah. So when they say that over the radio, I've got Mike Patterson from Santa Maria sitting next to me in the booth, right?
Man, that is cool that he came up here.
Yeah.
I wish I had the chance. I'm sorry.
It'll happen.
I wish I got the chance. Would have liked that to see him. Hopefully, we're ordering our tickets and stuff right now for the Bud Nationals. So for Bakersfield.
They say this over the radio. Okay, he's in the hot pit. They're going to change the right rear tire, and it looks like Mike and I look at each other like, are you kidding? He's going to get that car back on the track? There's no way. Not only does he get the car back on the track, he starts scratch at the back of the pack, and there's not a whole lot of time left. I mean, we're past the halfway mark.
Right. 14 cars.
In the feature, and he drives it up to 9th.
Are you kidding?
No, I'm not. I mean, he passed some good cars.
Hold on, with half of the car missing on the right-hand side, no spoiler, deck gone, all that type of stuff.
Yeah, just unbelievable. He had to borrow a quarter panel from Marson to make a body to race on day 2. No,
I'm
not kidding. But that being said, Dan Dybel, when he got to the front, it was all about the 74. That Swartz car it's dialed. Now, from here on out, I'll tell you right now, that is another driver you're going to have to worry about because...
Dan Dybel?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, he's been getting better and better and better, and we knew that eventually this year he was going to get a feature win, and he got it night 1 of the Clare Cup.
So that's cool, man.
Good deal for him.
To have a win, at Willamette Speedway is something, but have it during the Clare Cup and stuff,
right?
That's just, because you're battling, literally guys will come out of... from retirement or not racing or whatever that are just, legends in the sport, or have been waiting just for the Clare Cup to come out, and then you go out there and you beat those guys.
Yeah.
That's something to talk about. Just like the Jim Swirthway 100, Arnie Case come out there and, spins twice, goes to the back of the pack at the lap 50, and then comes back through the field. That's incredible.
Now, we moved into the modifieds, and again, they don't qualify.
Yeah, we hot lap.
We hot lap, but in hot laps, we'll talk about a couple of the fast guys up front. Some surprises, some not surprising. Fast time in hot laps was Colin Weinbarger, the Superman car, 16.177. Campos, second fast, 16.247. This one right here, kind of surprised me. And I'm not saying he can't drive. I'm saying he's doing phenomenal in a modified. Tony Breakall goes out and lays down third fast time in hot laps with a 16.340. And here's a guy that's coming out of the late model and hops back and forth.
Right.
Doesn't have a lot of time in the modified, but what we've seen him do in the modified so far, I got to say it's fairly impressive because, I mean...
Going from that big wide tire and stuff to that G60 15.8 is just, wow.
You're losing, a lot of traction. A lot of traction. Yeah. You're taking a lot of rubber underneath away, and he's, for some reason, adapted really well to the modified style of racing, and he's doing really well. Matthew Drager was 4th fast and ran out the top 5. And
Drager Performance, yeah.
Yep. Craig Castle, 5th fast.
See, Craig Castle, man, there you go.
See, and there's, like you said, there's a
guy he's definitely, I honestly believe, not only with his wife or with his girlfriend being pregnant, and then congratulations to them too, but but him taking that Shaw class down there at Willamette Speedway, at the beginning of the year and going down there and testing tuning and everything, and then coming up and running, Sunset Speedway, I believe has just bonused his race program.
That whole Shaw deal with put together by the Hansons and Shaw and those guys. I mean, that is a bank of information, and whatever you learn out of there is going to make you faster. The thing with Craig, I've noticed, is he's been a lot calmer. He's kind of calmed down quite a bit. He's settled down. He's not, Craig's one of those guys that he's passionate about what he does, and you'll see him in the pit area, and he's fired up, and he's moving around. And this year, it's what I've seen of him in the pit area, he just way more relaxed.
He still, I'll give it to him though. He still gets fired up.
That's Craig.
There was some incidences, last week between some drivers or whatever. I'm not going to say no names. We all know Sunset Speedway. People are going to run into each other and everything else. Not on purpose.
It's not how they race there. It's a bull ring. You're banging doors,
right? But tempers fly and everything else. But yeah, he's definitely changed quite a bit. I believe with his couple wins and stuff at Sunset, and his great top 5 performance and stuff at Willamette Speedway, it's only going to get better.
And that's the thing is once a guy gets settled down and gets comfortable with what he's got, it's just that much easier.
Right.
Modified Trophy Dash, night 1 of the Clare Cup. Campos picks up the win by 1.6 seconds.
Are you serious?
Yeah, he got out. He got out and got away, and he made a statement. The 36 car was very fast. Weinbarger was 2nd, Breakall 3rd, and Drager 4th. Okay, that was
good job for Johnny Landon.
Yeah,
that little 36 car can go.
Well, and then we get into heat races, and that's where things started getting really interesting for the modifieds, because in heat number 1, Ron Berry in the 97. Now, here's a guy that, again, is moving up
into class,
from the sportsman cars up into the modifieds, getting away. That's a lot less rubber in a lot more power, and he's just one of those guys that has picked it up. I mean, he did fairly well for a rookie driver on the Speed Week deal. And
right.
He's been competitive, highly competitive at Willamette. He got heat race number 1. Rod McCombs, Jimmy Schramm in the new car, the 51 car.
There you go.
Weinbarger and Yak were your top 5 cars in that one.
Okay? Now, Jimmy Schramm, too, I asked him, too, about that new car. When he was at Sunset, and he says, it's a learning curve, trying to get dialed in or whatever. But I believe it's going to be a very, very fast car. By the time
very good race.
By the time of the end of the season and stuff, I believe I almost guarantee he's going to get a win in that car.
Well, I'll tell you something. If you go on to Moxie Media Promotions on Facebook and you watch the in-car camera from 2-time truck champion Matt Crafton, Jimmy's right there with them.
He is.
And he was no slouch. I mean, that 51 car is a fast race car. Once Jimmy gets comfortable in it, that's going to be one of those things where...
Jerry Schramm, his brother, was actually right there, too, right on the bottom.
Well,
I mean, you could see him out of the backside and stuff. He was right there, too. So was John Campos around the top side.
Yeah, he came on. Jerry came on in the late stages and caught that lead pack, and he was right there in the hunt. That 16 car is fast, there's no doubt. And
he is.
Honestly, another one of those guys that's better in a modified than he is a late model.
It
fits the way he drives.
Right, and I agree with that 100%. Some people like to drive more on edge than having all that. I'm not going to say comfort level, but with that big, fat, wide humper tire and everything else, you can make a mistake, and it actually can can actually save it a little bit.
Right.
Yeah, you go in a modified and you get stupid in throttle controls, and you're looped around and you're tearing stuff up and everything else, and especially on those G60s when it gets it's just dumb. But
Heat Race 2 went to, and this is a guy that has just been, very, very fast here the last few weeks, and you're going to see, I'll tell you right now, you'll see this car in Victory Lane, the 44 of Sam Potter. This car, I'm not kidding you when I say it, this car is fast. He likes the setup. I spent some time in the pit area with those guys because both him and McCombs, the 44 and the 04,
right,
the AMCO transmission cars, I'm telling you right now, those are 2 cars that all of a sudden just things clicked, they got it together, the program is just tight, and the cars are fast. Now, Potter, we'll talk more about him. He picked up heat race number 2, and he just ahead of Sean Maya. Okay, Jerry Schramm, Matthew Drager, and Gray Ferrando were the top 5 in that one.
See, and let's talk. I mean, I kind of want to stop you real quick. Gray Ferrando.